they just don't experience it in the same way, and that's, I don't know, that's maybe why wars continue. But
Yes, it's just sad.
Yeah.
I can't imagine even the people surviving how horrible they must have felt as well. They would have felt a lot of guilt, I think, yeah.
I somewhat understand that it's necessary to keep countries from using them against each other.
I don't know if we don't seem to be able to, we just repeat the same mistakes over and over again. We just commit violence against each other even today and in any.
Where you from?
Australia.
Australia.
Yes.
Brisbane.
Yes.
Brisbane.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. This is your first trip to Japan?
My first trip, and
I've been this is my third time.
Third time.
Yeah.
Wow. What made you decide to come back to Japan?
Toby has been saying since I've met him, I think he wants to go to Japan. I'm like, okay, let's go.
5 years of nagging her, and we're finally here. So.
Oh, wow. So what brought you to Hiroshima this time?
Well, I'd never been in my third trip here. I'd never been, and it's just, I guess, obviously what happened here, like so long ago.
True.
Wanted to come and see it and learn about it, and go to the museum, see the dome.
Yeah.
Like it's awful. Like there's no words.
What were the most impact things in the museum?
I think some of the photos were pretty confronting. Like it was. You don't really get to see that too much in, I guess, Western culture. It was very much like, this is what's happened and this is the truth behind what war is and the power that was behind that bomb. It was just so many personal stories.
It's people. Like
entwined
it's
within
not
that.
it's not just something that happened. Like it's people like that were affected by this, and it really, I think, it's very realistic once you go there and you go through it all, you read all of it, and at least so
Did you learn about Hiroshima in school?
I think so. We did, but very briefly. It wouldn't have been very detailed. It would have just been as part of learning about the Second World War, but not like
I honestly can't recall actually learning in depth about it or like any history assignment on this. So.
So probably not much.
So this is your first time to learn or see what happened.
Like apart from maybe a YouTube video or something, but which doesn't compare to actually seeing it in person.
The real one. After you visit there, how do you think we can make the world more peaceful?
That's a hard question.
It's very hard. Yes.
Honestly, I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is really taking pages from Book of Japan and just being kind. It's really pretty simple.
Not just kind, but respectful, courteous, on time, very clean, tidy.
And I think eye-opening, I guess, museums, for example, it's to show the real side of like the effects of the world. There's so many wars going on at the moment, and the only people that really get to experience are the victims. Like they're the only ones that suffer the most, and the people at the top, they don't really get to know. Well, they know what's happening, but they just don't experience it in the same way, and that's, I don't know, that's maybe why wars continue. But a constant reminding about it as
We're
well.
just all people.
Like seeing this once is obviously very effective. But
so, what is the peace for you?
What is peace? I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. I think when we all live like respectfully and we all accept each other's differences and just. Accept that we're going to be different, but that doesn't mean that we need to fight each other or we need to have any kind of aggressive or anger or anything.
And do you agree or disagree with nuclear countries continuing to have their weapons?
I
I think that's a definite no.
yeah, definitely disagree
Both
with
of us?
nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
I'm all for nuclear power and keeping countries using energy like that, and but when it comes to the weapons, it's definitely big no from me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
That's
much
okay.
for your time.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you just arrived in Hiroshima?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A couple of hours ago.
Oh, okay. For Hiroshima, where did you go?
Fukuoka.
Fukuoka.
Yeah.
Oh.
We stayed there 2 days, and we will stay 2 days here, and then we will go to Osaka, stay there for 8 days, traveling the cities around, and then for a couple more days in Tokyo.
Oh.
And the plan is to maybe in 2 years come back and make a road trip. Make a road trip from the north, from Sapporo and Hokkaido. Yeah, this would be the next tour.
Ah, okay, next. Why did you decide to come to Hiroshima?
It's an important place.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's totally
Right.
important.
Personally, I think war in itself is a bad thing. But for me personally, it is more cruel here because people just vanish. It's not just that you die on the battlefield, it's just people who have nothing to do with the war just vanish. And that is... You can't, if you see it now, you cannot imagine the horror that was here 80 years ago. So I thought it was important to see it, experience it, look around it. But it's so unreal to see it now and to know what happened.
Yeah. What did you feel after you've been to the Memorial Museum?
It's like nothing was left. It's just everything was gone. In an instant, a thriving city was just gone. Yes, it's just sad.
Yeah. What impression did you have of Hiroshima before coming?
You don't see anything really was left of what was then when the city was completely destroyed. So it is just a new place. So if it wasn't for those memorials, you wouldn't even know. It would look like any other Japanese city I have seen, which are two.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you learn about Hiroshima in school?
Not specifically.
No.
We know we learned about World War II, of course, we're German, but not specifically about Pacific War, Japanese. It's more of the European part of World War II.
But we heard the name.
Yeah.
You
I mean, who hasn't seen?
Okay.
So if anything around here, everyone should have seen this one and immediately recognize it as Hiroshima.
What do you think we can make the world more peaceful?
I mean, we
difficult.
have war in Europe currently with Ukraine. If everybody would lay down their weapons tomorrow, that would be the best option. Unfortunately, that won't happen.
Yeah.
So
That's not gonna.
the only I'm not a politician, so I can't really tell. But you have them understand that they cannot just go to war with another country. I don't think there is the specific way, but just make sure they don't win. I think that's the best way. There is no specific way to make it a peaceful world, because I don't think that's ever going to work really. I mean,
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult.
Very
Very difficult.
just make sure that they don't win, and make them understand that that's not the way it's working, I guess.
What does peace mean to you?
No one lives in fear of endangerment.
Yep. Yes, the same.
Same.
No fear of any danger.
Do you agree or disagree with nuclear countries continuing to have their weapons?
The better way would be we don't have them, but I think since you cannot guarantee that no country has them, I want everyone to lay down the weapons, include their weapons, but as long as that's not going to work, we have to live with this imminent danger.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the United States and Russia, how many they have destroyed, it's ridiculous. I mean, we talk about no nuclear weapons. I think we should start with lesser nuclear weapons. I mean, they don't need hundreds of those, but they have. And maybe we should start by lowering the number before we can think about no nuclear weapons.
Where you from?
Australia?
Australia?
Yeah, from Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
How did you like Hiroshima, Japan?
I absolutely love Japan. I used to live here, but I was very young.
Oh, really?
So I moved to Australia when I was 2,
Oh.
1999.
Oh, really?
And I've been living in Australia since then.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm coming back now. This is my 4th time coming back to visit family and a bit of a holiday. And it's his first time.
Oh, his first time.
Yeah, first time. So I've always wanted to come here, learn about the history, about the place, my family as well, meeting family I've never met. So
Right. So your mom or dad is Japanese?
Mum's
Your
Japanese,
mom.
yeah.
What was your favorite part so far?
That's hard.
where did we go yesterday? Miyajima.
Yeah, cycling Miyajima was nice. Cycling on the islands.
Oh, cycling.
That was very nice, yeah. The first day we went there, it was raining,
Oh,
so we got a little bit wet. But the second day was beautiful. Actually loved it. And Universal Studios. I always go there, I love it.
oh yeah, in
Love the
Osaka.
I love the rides. We went to Tokyo, Disneyland, Disney Sea as well. It was very nice. So.
Did you go to the Peace Memorial Museum this time?
Yeah.
That was his first time going there. We just finished up.
You
So we
just
did the
finished.
free guided tour, which was lovely. Learned quite a lot about history and everything. And then we went in the museum just before and saw everything. And
Yeah.
it's a lot to take in, but it was really awesome to sort of see that because I didn't know much about it.
Is there any difference before you come and actually after you been there?
A little bit. Like I sort of like knew what happened, but not the actual like what it was like before. So it gave me a lot more perspective about what life was like here on this island that we're on before it happened and now after and everything that happened in between.
So you've been to the museum many times?
That was my second time, yes.
Second time.
Yeah. And I did the guide around the park the first time as well, and that was really good, yeah.
How did you feel about the things in the museum?
Some of it's a bit hard to watch, it's a bit sad.
Yeah,
You
true.
you can't imagine, even though you've got everything in front of you, you still can't imagine how horrible it would have been to actually be there. And I can't imagine even the people surviving how horrible they must have felt as well. They would have felt a lot of guilt, I think, yeah.
How old are you guys?
23.
23?
I'm 27.
27. Oh,
yeah.
did you learn about Hiroshima in school?
No, we don't actually learn any Japanese in Australia.
You didn't know about atomic bomb? The bomb?
Oh, the
bombing?
bomb.
Yeah, we sort of know it, but we didn't really touch on it because like we learnt about war because Australia's been involved with the Anzac, so that was a big thing we learned. But also a byproduct of that was like learning about war that was happening around the world and all that. No, you might have to go to a very specific school, like maybe an international school or something where they might cover that in depth, but our school was a very small local country school, so we really didn't learn about it.
Yeah, they don't really touch on the bomb or Japan at all, really, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. Do you agree or disagree with nuclear countries continuing to have their weapons?
Disagree.
Disagree?
I'll go straight there. Yeah, I think there's no need for it, and not that I think someone would use it, but it's sort of like a low blow sort of thing. 'Cause like if say no one had them and one country did, then they sort of hold power over everyone. I think it shouldn't exist.
I disagree as well. I think eventually someone will use it and it's just going to be catastrophic again. It's going to be horrible. You can't stop really Russia and America
North
with
Korea.
North Korea with all their nuclear weapons. So
Yeah, still.
I think they will use them, but just you don't know when.
Yeah.
It's sad reality, I think.
Thank you
No
so
worries.
much for your time.
No worries.
Thank you. Where you from?
I'm from Denmark.
Denmark. Wow. How long have you been in Japan?
I've been in Japan approximately 3 weeks by now. Yes.
Where did you go so far?
Me and my girlfriend landed in Tokyo, and then from there on we went to Odawara and Hakone, and then we went to Shizuoka and Nagoya, and after Nagoya we went to Kyoto, Osaka, Nara, quick stop to Himeji, and now we're here in Hiroshima.
Why did you decide to come to Japan for your holiday with your girlfriend?
First of all, we have made a lot of friends here in Japan before we went. Second of all, we both were interested in Japanese culture, so we wanted to experience firsthand how that culture is here in Japan.
Okay. You made a Japanese friend in Denmark.
In Denmark, yes. In Denmark, we have a thing called højskole,
High school.
which is a specific school that you go to of your own choice. You don't have to. You pay a certain amount to stay for approximately half a year. And it's more of a school where you have a personal development of sorts. So you learn a specific thing that you're interested in. And it's very popular to do if you have a gap year in Denmark. To go to a højskole, to make friends and develop skills, and also personal growth. Yes.
How old were you then?
That was a year ago.
A year ago?
So a year ago I was 21 years old.
Wow.
So that's where we met our friends, because they came to stay at the school.
So what brought you to Hiroshima this time?
I know we both know that there's a lot of history, especially with the atomic bomb surrounding Hiroshima, and I'm really interested in history, so I wanted to go here to experience that firsthand, see the dome, see the memorial places in this park, and besides that also wanted to just experience what else Hiroshima had to offer.
Oh, yeah. What did you think about Hiroshima after you came?
Somehow I thought that you would see more of how the atomic bomb has devastated the whole place, even though it's 79 years ago. But walking around in Hiroshima now, it looks like any other city, very developed, very intact. It's very difficult to see that there was an atomic bomb that exploded here, only by watching the dome.
How do you think we can make the world more peaceful?
I think the dome and the museum set a great example of the devastating horror that happened, and I feel like it's a great way to explain to the rest of the world how this should not happen again.
So what does peace mean to you?
Peace means a lot. I'm very fortunate that I have not experienced warfare. I live in a very safe country, and I cannot imagine how people in countries with war has it. So yeah, very grateful for that.
Did you learn about Hiroshima in school, in your country?
Yes, when I went to school, we had about World War II in history class. It is widely known, in Denmark at least, that there was the dropping of atomic bombs.
Do you agree or disagree with nuclear country continuing to have their weapons?
I think the world will be a much more peaceful place if nuclear weapons was not a thing. So I would definitely vote for them to not have them. I somewhat understand that it's necessary to keep countries from using them against each other, but at the same time, they wouldn't need them if nobody had them. So I think they should just get rid of them for everybody's sake.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Where are you from?
California.
California?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been in Japan?
Like 10 days.
10 days?
Yeah, so not too long.
Where did you go so far?
So far, Tokyo, Kyoto, and here.
In here?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of your travel?
I mean, I think so far here, just because the saddest, but most impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you feel about the things in the museum?
It's pretty amazing what people have done to each other. Just the amount of violence and the amount of misery and death. I don't know. It's hard to put it all into words. Yeah.
Why did you come to Hiroshima?
Obviously for the history. Yeah.
Did you learn about Hiroshima in school?
Yeah, and I studied history in university. So when I was particularly interested in World War II, so yeah, I'd studied quite a bit about obviously in Europe and also in the Pacific, Japan, and yeah.
Do you remember what you learned about Hiroshima in school?
Obviously you learn that it's the first atomic bomb dropped. Massive death. The city pretty much obliterated. You learn hundreds of thousands of people died, but you don't learn a ton. Like not a ton, but I mean I would say just the very basic stuff. Yeah.
What was your impression of Hiroshima before coming?
To be honest, I didn't know. I figured it would be like a new city, obviously rebuilt after the war, but it's very beautiful. It feels very quiet and peaceful, especially compared to Tokyo and Kyoto, which are more, a lot busier. Yeah, it's kind of, the peace is, kind of an opposite to the tranquility now is, in contrast to what actually happened here, 80 years ago.
Yeah, so question how do you think countries can stop conflict between each other?
I don't know, I'm a bit cynical, and I don't think, I think humans are, there's a lot of good and a lot of beautiful in the world, but I think we're, I don't know if we don't seem to be able to, we just repeat the same mistakes over and over again. We just commit violence against each other, even today, and as humans. So I would say that's my cynical answer. Yeah.
What is peace for you? What does peace mean to you?
I think being okay with yourself and trying to do as little harm to others as possible, to make other people's lives as decent as possible, and certainly not do any harm or do as little harm as possible.
In your opinion, do you think atomic bomb was needed to end the war?
No, definitely not. No, but the war was, Japan was pretty much largely defeated. It wasn't necessary, but, the U.S. was going to drop it regardless because of political and economic reasons. But no, it didn't have to be dropped for sure. Yeah.
Do you agree or disagree nuclear countries continuing to have their weapons?
Disagree for sure, but it doesn't surprise me because I think people are unfortunately, there's a lot of decent people, but a lot of people are just, in general, also we don't treat each other particularly well. So we always prefer to have ways to kill each other than help each other. Yeah.